Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to check out my video. So for our ETAD 404 class, our final e-learning module, I went ahead and decided to create a website through Google Sites. So the main reason I decided to create a website through Google Sites, well, there's a couple of main reasons. The first one is I have prior experience with it and find it very easy to use and super user-friendly. And the second reason is I really enjoy how it automatically creates a very easy to navigate kind of web page no matter what device you're using. So that just makes the screen easy to follow on both a computer, a tablet, and a cell phone. I also really enjoy that if it's in a Google site instead of a learning management platform or software, it's easily accessible to all and doesn't require any login. So right off the bat, this is the home page of the website. So it just says Mr. Wright's Math, and then there's a little description of what the website is and where to find information. Students can click on this link here that will take them to the beginning of our learning module. Alternatively, they could have just come up to the top of the web page and they would see squares and square roots. They could click on that and it brings them to the home page, and it also gives them a drop-down menu for each of the lessons for the 5 days. So on the home page of this e-learning module, students will, first thing they'll see is the title of Squares and Square Roots, along with the big idea, which is they can find and explain squares and square roots. Pretty straightforward. Below that, the students will find a Google slide that's embedded right onto the website that they can click through. That gives them just a quick overview of each day or each lesson and everything that's required. So it starts with a learning goal, followed by a simplified version of the activities and the materials needed, and then it also provides them, again, easy access with a link directly to the web page where they'll find that lesson. So they can click through all of these to find all of that information. This is just a nice week at a glance kind of thing for the students to look at. So if they're eager to know where we're going with the unit or the mini unit, they can see that. Within each day, this is obviously a math unit on grade 8 math for square roots and square numbers. So lesson 1 or day 1, each page kind of follows the same format, so we won't go through them all, but lesson 1 starts with the I can statement. So for lesson 1, it's I can use an area model to explain what a perfect square is. The next thing they'll see is step 1, which is just to watch the videos below. So for each of the first 4 days of my e-learning module, the students are required to watch 2 different videos. So I made these videos on my computer using a screen recording tool, and then posted them to YouTube and listed them as public, so you can watch these videos directly on the web page itself, or you can go to YouTube and search them up. So yeah, they're hopefully easily accessible. Step 2 is to complete the textbook assignment. So this is specific to our division, but the students have access to the textbook online, which I gave them a link to find by clicking here. So it'll be redirecting them, and then it will ask them to sign in to their division account. So after they open that web page, they can simply log in with their GSCS credentials. And after typing in their email and password, they should be directed directly to the GSCS textbook we use, which is the Math Makes Sense textbook. So it might take a minute to load here, but they'll have access to the entire textbook and all the questions. If we jump back into the module, Step 3 asks them to complete the check-in questions. So this is really handy if anybody was going to be using this entirely virtually. Right on the web page, there's a Google form where the students can answer 2 or 3 questions related to that day's lesson, and then hit submit. So if they do that, we can take a look at this on this question here. Which area model below correctly displays that 4 is a perfect square? Well, I'm going to pick a wrong answer for this, and I'm also going to pick a wrong answer For the second one, it says find the area and perimeter of the shape. Well, let's say it's an area of 5, a perimeter of 25, and if we hit submit, oops, I didn't fill in my name. Once we filled in our name, so I know who completed it, they can hit submit, and right on the web page itself, they should receive some immediate feedback. So if they click view score, it'll prompt them to open it, or it'll automatically open a new web page for them, but it will tell us that we got the question wrong, and then it will tell us the feedback says 4 is a perfect square because an area model square with a side length of 2 units creates a square that has an area of 4. So then we would know that the correct answer should have been C, and all of these questions will give immediate feedback to the students if they get anything wrong. Just below that, the next thing on the web page itself is a collaboration station where the students can take the time to post questions and respond to each other's questions right on the web page by adding comments or writing a post themselves by hitting this pink plus button. So that is the same on every single one of the lessons 2, 3, and 4. The only thing that changes is the content. So lesson 2, the I can statement asks them to show how squares and square roots are related. Again, there's some videos, some textbook work. Step 3 is to complete the check-in questions once again. And then below the check-in questions, there's another collaboration station, which is just essentially a discussion board for the students. Lesson 5 is where things get a little bit different. So to try and incorporate some more constructivist style learning into a miniature math unit, I've asked the students for their final kind of task in this e-learning module to download Minecraft EDU, build something, and then share it with a classmate. So step 1, 2, and 3, pretty straightforward. To elaborate a little bit more, step 1, downloading Minecraft. I put together a Google slide that lives within the website where students can follow step-by-step instructions that show them exactly how they're going to download Minecraft Education Edition onto their own device. School devices will already have this installed for me. Step 2, there's some more directions here about building something within Minecraft that contains at least 10 perfect squares. And then some more explanation on using the camera tool and Book and Quill to take pictures of their work and submit it through Google Classroom or an email directly to myself. This could be modified and played with depending on the context of how this was being used. I always use Google Classroom throughout the school year, so I'd probably build a Google Classroom assignment for them to actually read these instructions again and submit their work, but it could be simply emailed. And step 3 is sharing it with a classmate. So this could be challenging to do in an e-learning environment, I know. So in order to give the students a space to communicate with each other and find somebody to share their work with or their world code for Minecraft, there's a Minecraft collaboration feed below where students can post their world code and then exchange it with a friend. So yeah, that's all built right into the website. And that's pretty much it. There is a help tab over on the side here where students can find some more information. There's a perfect square chart that just gives the students the opportunity to see a whole bunch of perfect squares and how basically a perfect square is just whenever we have two whole numbers multiplied together, the product of that would give us a perfect square. So 36, the square root of it is 6. Pretty straightforward. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the tour of the website and hopefully somebody somewhere finds it helpful one day.